Hey, this is Jake, and this is the Flash Review, episode 2, the Speed Force and characters. In this episode, I'm going to be telling you a little bit about the Speed Force and Flash characters like Iris, villains, all kinds, as much as I can do. This is probably going to be a two-parter. Now, a little bit about the Speed Force. The Speed Force is basically where all the super speed heroes, all of them, Flash, Johnny Quick, Max Mercury, Jesse Quick, or Liberty Bell, XS, the Tornado Twins, all of them. That's where they get their powers. And in Rebirth, I'm not going to tell you anything until I get to the review of Rebirth. Tells you a little bit more. And with the Speed Force is a Black Flash. The Black Flash is usually death for the Speed Force, and it claims speedsters when they die, like a Grim Reaper, basically. And that's about it that I could say about the Speed Force. Now a little bit let me start with the Flashes. Jay Garrick. Now Jay Garrick was he was a college student who accidentally inhales this weird chemicals, and then he falls asleep, wakes up, and he has these superpowers. Of course, in those old comics, it's like, oh, I can't believe I have these superpowers. It's going to take me 6 issues to actually figure out until you actually figure out that you have super speed and become the Flash. But no, in these old comics, it took you a panel to actually figure out that you have super speed and you want to become a superhero. They don't explain how you get the costume most of the time, like Barry Allen. Barry Allen, he got struck by lightning. He decided not to go to the doctor. He just kept on going around. He was super fast and helped this waitress when she dropped stuff, helped her get it all back together, just like Peter Parker did in Spider-Man 1. And when that happened, he realized that he has superpowers and still did not go to the doctor or a scientist or anything. He just went right back home. And then maybe 2 pages later, he gets this police radio into his house and listens to it and hears that something's going on. And then he has this ring, no explanation, the ring that carries his suit, and then it shoots out. Once it gets air into it, whatever the word is, inflates out, and he can fit in it. And I told you a lot about Barry Allen. Well, Barry Allen, he was in his laboratory, he was putting up stuff, researching about, I think, his parents' death. I don't know that, but in Rebirth they said he was studying that while this happened. I don't know. But excuse me. But he where was I? Yeah, but I think he was studying about his parents, and then he got struck by lightning. But in the original comic, he was putting up chemicals and stuff, all kinds, and then he got struck by lightning and it all fell on him, just like the real one, except it's a little different in the newer version. I mean, not the real one. And when he gets it, like I've explained. But now let's talk about Jay Garrick. Well, he's a college student who inhaled this weird thing, chemicals that makes him fall asleep, and then he wakes up and realizes that he has superpowers. And then, of course, he wants to be a superhero and all that. Now let's talk about, I already talked about Barry Allen, so Wally West. Well, Wally West was created by Carmine Infantino and John Broome, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And he was introduced in The Flash number 110, Volume 1, 1959. He's the nephew of Iris, which I'm going to get to. The nephew of Iris, because her name's Iris West and he's Wally West, which makes sense. He visited the Central City Police Laboratory where Barry Allen works, and it basically happened the same way except without the lightning. All this stuff, chemicals, poured on him and he got his superpowers. And basically, it actually took him a little longer to realize he had powers, but not too long. And now let's talk about Bart Allen. Bart Allen I'm not too much of a fan of, so I don't really know too much. I know that he's the grandson of Barry Allen. He was in the 30th century, then came here, and then he got killed and then came back. That's all I know. So if you want to know about Bart Allen, I recommend going to Flashback Podcasts on iTunes. Look them up. They're awesome, guys. And now let's talk about other characters. Johnny Quick. Yeah, I really liked him. I think he died. I actually don't even really know too much about him either. I just read about him. Yeah, I think he was part of the... Yeah, he meets the JSA members, and then he becomes part of the All-Star Squadron. And, I don't know what happens next. And then there's Liberty Bell, which she, was married to, Johnny Quick. Oh, no. Either was married or is the daughter. Not too sure. Yeah, the daughter, not the wife, sorry. And Johnny Quick gave it to her because I think she wanted it, or she just gave it to her, and that is just what happened. And then Tornado Twins. In the 30th century, they're descendants of Barry Allen. I'm sorry, I don't know about him, so I'm just checking them online. Yeah, I don't really know too much about them. So, I'm not really going to talk about them too much. But, now let's actually get to Iris West. Hold on. Let me get a couple of comics. Yeah, here it is. Now, she is a reporter for this news place called Picture News. Yeah, and in Central City, of course. And then later, she becomes a boyfriend with Barry Allen. And then back in the past, she always bitches and complains that, oh, you're always late, you're the slowest person on earth. And then Barry Allen at the ending always used to make a remark saying, yeah, about what he just did earlier. And then she was killed by Professor Zoom. But then, I think, yeah, she comes back, and that's why Barry Allen snaps his neck. But in Rebirth, I'm not going to tell you anymore. You're just going to have to read it, until I get to the review. And, Iris West, that's basically it. Her nephew is Wally West, and that's really about it. But, let me think. Well, that's all I planned for this episode, but let me tell you what's going to happen in the next couple of episodes. In the next episode, I'm going to be reviewing a couple of, I'm going to be reviewing the Flash Rebirth, #1, and y'all better not listen to this if you don't want any spoilers, because I may give spoilers away. So, if you don't want to listen to that one, you can just skip all of them, because I'm going to do Flash Rebirth review #1, do like a couple of old reviews, talk a little bit more about the Flash, like a whole episode dedicated to Barry Allen, a whole episode dedicated to Wally West. I'm going to get some help on the internet for a couple of them, but not Barry Allen. He's like my main man. I know everything about him. And then I'm going to have to go back to Flash Rebirth #2 and talk about old comics, review a couple old ones. The ones with Barry Allen, the ones I talk about, Jay Garrick, Wally West. I can check my comics and see if I got #1s about them characters. Yeah, so this is Jake saying goodbye. Oh, one more thing. Please forgive the noise in the background if you don't hear it already. And please tell me if you don't hear it, because it could be a problem in the future. And it's just my brothers, because I'm in high school and I still live with them. So please don't mind the noise and stuff. Goodbye.